Yeah, coming away from the game against a really good team at Central Arkansas, just had some mistakes and that prevented us from, coming out successfully the way that we wanted to. And those are things that just got to continue to coach harder and to coach better, go correct those mistakes as we go forward, and coachable moments and learning moments as we continue to go forward with this. The things you just rattled off, there's positives from the game we were able to pull too. Right now, go back and talk about effort, talk about physicality. Those are things that we've done continuously as the seasons went on, and that's something that we did again, Saturday, and something that that's a must for us to continue to go on. But I don't fault our guys, our effort and physicality that we play with. It's just continue to be clean and continue to build on the positives as well. There's some things that we've done in all three phases that have been really good that we can build on, and just continue that direction and that upward trend with that.
You talk about effort. You're 1-3 in the league, but the effort's there. You could easily be 4-0 as well. Just what's the mood like in going forward now?
Yeah, just motivated, and that's the one thing that you said here. When you're in this situation, your motivation's got to be high, your character's got to be high. Just because we're close. You look back and you just see, and you're probably now at 12 to 15 plays from having an opportunity to be that in the league. But you got to go find those every day. That's the difference, and that's what separates teams throughout the country. Whether it's high school, whether it's college, whether it's NFL, is finding those 3 to 5, 6 plays per game that keep people undefeated as they go on. And that's what you do every week is you show up and you go back to work, you work hard, you be disciplined, you be detailed, and you work to go find and correct and not make those or not have those plays happen where you're making those plays and those opportunities, because again, you don't know when that play is going to be the play. So just be consistent throughout the game, that I'm locked in throughout a game, that I'm completely focused, and just being that, and that's something that starts back over as you go through the schedule. It just starts back over on Sunday, just as it did yesterday, and then it starts back today. Just about doing those things right, and then working our way into Saturday and going out and executing in the moment when it needs to be done.
Talk about being back at home. You got homecoming this weekend. Being back at home, where you 3-0 at home. I think 15 of the last 16 games in the whole.
Yeah, so really excited about that. Excited about coming home. Excited about homecoming. Just the opportunity for former McNeese, all the players and students and administration and people to come back and just celebrate that. So that's an exciting time, and excited just to be back at home and play in front of our fans and our crowds, and just excited about that as well. But just homecoming is always a fun week, and it's always a fun game. Just because of that, because of the people that get back around, that truly care about the university and then the football program.
And then one more from me before we open it up. The last 3 games, Cody and Kyron, just been an amazing connection. Just talk about those two together.
Yeah, I think it's just progression, as the seasons went on. Again, with you're in a first year install and all that with an offense and a defense and special teams. So just guys just continue to get more familiar with and comfortable with and understanding of how the scheme is executed. And that's something, those guys have been able to do along with some other guys. And, so we've been able, those are some positives we can pull and just be better. And, just that's the business we're in. We're in the get better business. Every day, every week, you got to get better, and you got to show up. And how do you do that? It's by work. It's by meaningful reps, by having a purpose when you get out on the field, having a purpose when you step in the weight room, having a purpose when you go to class, and when you show up in this building, that everything's, about getting better.
Let's open it up.
Coach, what's your level, if you have any, of concern with the pass defense? They've given up, fair amount of big plays, a lot of passing yards, especially with a team like Houston Baptist coming in that loves to pass it a lot.
Yeah, just understanding, what we have given up the last couple of weeks, and understanding with, Houston Baptist coming in and what they do offensively, and just got to go back to being really good with our scheme, and just making sure we're in the right situation and the right calls. Just go back to alignment and assignment. And just our guys continue to play hard. And that's the one thing we do. We've got some guys over there that are playing really hard in some roles that, they've been forced into due to injury. But just, continue to play with great effort, continue to play with great physicality, on that side of the ball. And that's something we'll continue to do.
You talk about mistakes. Are you seeing the same mistakes over week and week? Are you seeing new ones, or because I would imagine the frustration will be seeing the same ones?
Yeah, no, it's not the same ones. It's just it's just the critical mistakes. I mean, you just take this past weekend. We've been sound in special teams, and we have a bad snap. And then we fumble one on the kickoff. Just give those guys an opportunity. Great field position right there. So it's not the same mistakes that's the one positive on that. It's not repeat things that continue to show up. It's just things that have just shown up in a different manner, a different form, just like those things I just mentioned. But you just go back. Those are controllable things, and where you just got to be focused and just got to go out and do the skill that we've done and that those kids have put on tape to do, and do it at a high level.
Cody, it seems like this week and the week before, when he scrambled, he's still looking downfield. I know a couple of times it looked like he was going to take off, but he dumped it off. And has he progressed enough to the point where now when he is running, he's looking to still make the big play?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something he's done well over the last couple of weeks. He's just done a great job. Is when things around him, when things around him kind of crumble, he got an opportunity to get out and avoid things. And then within that, his eyes have been able to stay downfield and keep his eyes up, kind of scrambling to throw, just confidence in his ability, just comfortable, and again with him, it's what I said, early on, just every rep that he continues to take in practice and then every snap he takes in a game is just gaining him more experience, so you're just seeing a guy that's starting to get more and more game snaps under his belt, and starting to feel more comfortable, obviously with the scheme and in the situations that he's put in.
Sorry. Through 7 games and all the film analysis, are you coming away with the opinion that the opponent is more within? I mean, the mistakes.
Yeah.
McNeese is really having to overcome themselves before really the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing you go back when I talk about those 12 to 15 plays. I mean, you lessen and eliminate that. The chance that we come out successful is probably high, and and that's something. And we just talk about it, going back and focus on ourselves, go back and go back and correct and fix those mistakes. So they just don't show back up. And that's the thing is like anybody. It's hard enough to win on Saturdays as is. When you go out and you create anything that puts you in an adverse situation that you create. And especially when they're good football teams. I mean, that's the thing. You look at Sam Houston, ranked opponent. You look at Central Arkansas, ranked opponent. So 2 really good football teams that you just can't go make mistakes against. And put yourself behind the 8 ball, so to say, and do those things and expect to come out with a win.
And a quick follow-up to being 3 and 4, you might hear the role of now the conference race is pretty much out of reach at this level. The role of spoiler and being able to put together something, make a run through the end of the year. The earlier question was concerns. Is there concerns about this team losing that motivation, that zeal to play?
Yeah,
in that role?
I mean,
the thing hasn't been in that role.
Yeah, no, the thing about the conference, I mean, the way it's still and how we were front loaded with some of those teams. I mean, everybody in conference still got to go play each other, and I mean, this conference has traditionally been that way. I know Lamar a year ago made a run like that. So I mean, those that's still, that opportunity still sits out there. Just whatever happens throughout the conference, but going back and just challenge our guys about being showing up, going back up to work, and having high character, and all that's still out there. And there's 14 seniors on this football team. That got 2 more home games and invested a lot in this program. And there's a lot of reasons for a guy to show up here every day and go to work and go play and play for himself and play for his community and play for this football team. And there's plenty of reasons if a guy rolls out of bed in the morning. I mean, he ain't got to look very far to find one.
So your belief is that you're still in the race?
100%.
100%. Last week against Southeastern, they like to bring pressure. You were able to limit the sacks. This week, 6 sacks Central Arkansas had. Looking at the film, what were the root causes of the 6 sacks?
Some of it was just the back end. They did a good job on the back end stuff. And some of it just got to continue to get better and, not give up those sacks. But I mean, just kind of a combination of right there were really the cause of that.
And with Justin Pratt, he started the first, 5 games of the season, hasn't played the last 2, I guess. Do you have is there an update or anything on him?
Yeah, just been banged up, and he's been, if need back, so it's probably worked out, in our benefit that he hasn't had to play the last 2 weeks, so we get him back 100% healthy this week.
Coach, just 0-3 so far this season on the road, a pretty long losing streak dating back to last year. Is it like the long trips? Like, what have kind of led to the struggles on the road so far this season, do you think?
Yeah, I know those are long trips, but you just go back and it's going to fall into that same realm. I mean, you got to go play as a team. You got to go be disciplined. You got to go be detailed. And you got to go execute. And that's what it comes back to. And those are the things that we got to do. Those are the things that we're coaching. Those are the things we're teaching. Those are the things we're preaching. And those are the things we got to continue to do. Because we got more road trips coming up as the season goes on. Just being really motivated and putting our head down, go back to work, and when at home and/or on the road. I mean, you got to go play well and do those things, especially when you're on the road.
To follow up on that, will it help? I know it's not this week, but the last 3 games on the road are all much shorter. I want to say 3 hours is the longest trip. Will that help at all as far as maybe not having to have such a long road trip?
I mean, possibly. Possibly it will. I think anytime you go on a trip and it's shorter than longer, I think it benefits you, for numerous reasons. But still at the end of the day, you got to go, control those controllable deals. Whether it's an hour, 15-minute trip or a 6-hour trip, you still got to go play well. You still got to go execute. Still got to be locked in and play together.
And also last week, down 9. I mean, you needed points and everything. Just the decision to go forward and not just take a field goal and onside kick, I guess, what kind of led to that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a 2-possession game, and I mean, you knew you were going to have to get points one way or the other, and just at that moment, we just felt good about the calls, and that was the decision that I made. Was to do that, was try to get the points right there rather than kick it, and then try to come down, get the onside, and get whatever yards for Bailey to have a chance for a shot.
You guys hate this, but you mentioned earlier about Colby Burton being out. Best cover, all conference, defensive back, cornerback. In a way, he's your shutdown guy. He can shut down, depending on the matchups, half the field. Did you think that it would have this much of an impact, or has it had that much of an impact? In particular, the explosive plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you lose guys of that caliber, I mean, really good players and especially starters, I think it's got an opportunity to impact you, and we've felt a little bit of that on the defense side of the ball. I mean, you're down, Colby Burton, you're down Poe, you're down Carlos Scott, you're down Colby Richardson, so guys right there that are really impactful, guys on the defense side of the ball that we don't have, and especially. Across the board. I mean, when you lose, when you're setting, you don't got those starters out there, and the next guys are having to play. I mean, it's got an opportunity, for those things to impact you like that. The one thing I credit is Coach Gush and our guys on that side of the ball that have just, showed up and played. We've had guys had to move positions, to go fill those roles, and those guys are playing extremely hard right now. And we just got to continue to do a great job, of just playing hard and playing within the scheme and playing with the physicality on that side of the ball.
Coach, in your business, you welcome high expectations, because high expectations means that the team and the program can achieve championship level. Do you find yourself now in a position where you're you just wanna like temper the expectations of the fan base and say, look, first year, install of the new offense and a new defense nearly entirely a new coaching staff. Do you find yourself doing that, or you just try to go with blinders and you know the high expectations are there, and maybe right now this program is not meeting those expectations at 3 and 4?
Yeah, I mean, I that's the one thing that's was and is appealing about McNeese. I mean, it's a place of tradition, a place that's had a ton of success, and know those high expectations set out there. And there was obviously some, with the changes and everything, and just where we're trying to set the culture and the standard and get it back to that. And that's what we're in process of doing. That's what we're in process of working towards. That's what we're in process of recruiting. Guys that want to come be a part of a program that's traditionally been the best and or in the top in this conference, and that's what we're working towards every day and every week, and that expectation has not changed for us. I mean, so yeah, I mean it's a positive to have those high expectations out there, and same with us. I mean, we got high expectations in this program of the culture of what is set, the standard that's been set, where we're going, the guys that we're recruiting right now, the level of guys that we're able to recruit, and we're excited about that, and we embrace it, and our guys do as well.
Realistically though, is it a 2 or 3 year type of process?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, we're 12 to 15 plays from being undefeated. So you're that close. You're that close, and again, they just go back, and that's where you gotta find those plays, and you gotta find that discipline. Within every day when you get up, and like I said, you don't gotta look very far to find motivation. There's a ton of them around everybody in this building to show up with motivated, determined to come out here and get better. And I mean, we have a new standard, we have a new culture that's in place, and though when you set those are daily. And I mean, you got to do them, and you got to do them every day. And we got guys that are doing those things, and there's room in there for improvement as well. And those are the things that we got to continue to coach every day, and those are the things that we're demanding every day, and for the direction that we're going.
You mentioned some of the defensive players that have been out. Do you have an update on them, or are you expecting any of them back this week?
Right now, really no updates on those guys right now. We'll see as the week progresses to see. I mean, of course, those, a couple of those guys that we know are done, like Seabird and Poe, those guys are out for the season. Those other guys, we'll see as the week goes on.
All right, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate it.